everyone, and welcome back to Austin Talks, where today I'm doing a review on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yes, I was able to see it. I went to a different country, visited a friend, and I was able to see it. Everything came out Austin. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I did not think I'd get to see it. I was so disheartened. And I was so disheartened that it wasn't playing in the my country. So I was just like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then when we were told I was going away, and I said, like, can I go and see the movie? They were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, yes. So yeah, I'm really happy about that, and I'm really lucky to be able to see it because this movie was insane. I'm not going to talk too much about here, so I just want to get right into it. This movie was amazing. First off, the thing we got was Gwen's origin. I didn't expect any of this, and I really like this like storyline. And Peter turning into the lizard, and her dad turning against her. Now that was harsh, extremely harsh. This also gives a bit of a perspective for this character, because in the first movie we never actually knew much about her. We didn't actually get an introduction to her. She was literally just put on the spot. But knowing this introduction, you actually can see how rough her life has been reflected throughout the whole movie, and how hard it is to be Spider-Man, which is a very big message that I said in this movie, which I actually really like about it. The whole lizard thing I thought was really good, and the whole concept of him being bullied and then turning into a lizard to show he's big, thought that was not relatable, because obviously I haven't turned into a lizard, but like, I can understand. Yes, okay, there's no doubt about this. Medieval Vulture is weird. To see this weird, this version of Vulture is weird. Is an understatement. We never ever seen any variants of the Vulture, and this is a definite peculiar one. I do think it would be good to see other variants out of this character, not just of this character, but of others. But I do think, whilst there's no denying he is weird, I think he is a cool variant. Compared to, he is actually not bad, and I really really stepping out of the Spider-Man comfort zone compared to the rest, like having classical suits, techie, and I do really like about that. I do like that about this character. Okay, we all have to appreciate this. This movie deserves recognition. This movie deserves it. The scene with the Vulture is the reason I bring it up. When he was in action, to reflect how he is an old engineer, there was actually engineering equations when he was shooting stuff, and it was really cool. When I picked up on it, I was like, oh my god, it's actually so cool to see. And to further this, the theme for Spider-Man 2099, that was so cool. No. Now that is now the second best theme to Top Gun. There's no denying. Top Gun is just the best theme. Yeah, you get what I mean. But this movie needs more credit than it gets. It does not. Yeah, this movie is placed 4th of this year. I do not agree with it. This movie deserves more recognition than it already has. It needs more. I am the spot. I do think it is amazing how they portrayed this character throughout the movie, as at the beginning he was like a joke, and then he became one of the most powerful beings, and now that is cool. This, as I said in the last one, we've never really seen who the Spot is in the others, and he was in the other movies, but in this movie he's mad. And going back to what I said about the art of the movie, they killed it with these characters, but with even with his Super Saiyan look, and I'll get onto that in a little bit, but they crushed this character to the moon and back. I love how he's portrayed. There's no better way to portray a character who is broken, who isn't taken seriously, and then going Super Saiyan. Now that is cool. Okay, there's no denying this. But Miles is big brain. I shouldn't have said smart. He's big brain. Now, when in the meeting room, I know that to know that he did quantum physics and other stuff. He is smarter than me. The thing is, I do know quantum physics, but still, I mean, yeah, he got a B in Spanish. I couldn't even get. I don't know what I got for when I took like French. I got a very bad grade for that. I can't learn language. It's very difficult. We never really saw any of this with any of the other Spider-Man, so it shows how he is the smartest Spider-Man as well as different. So they had the best quantum physics program. I was just, when I saw this, I looked at my friend, and because they know I really like quantum physics, they were like, what? I thought that was it was a really cool touch, and it was on, I thought it was really cool. And also how he is, in the last movie, he was just he was just a teenager. But in this one, he was just like a little kid. But in this movie, he's a flippant teenager. He is sassy. He is sulky. Very, lippy or cheeky, as we always say. But I thought it was quite funny. Gunn and Miles relations. Oh, I hate this. In both movies, you could tell some of these characters' relationships were built on the foundation of common struggles, which in this case would be the Spider-Man. Their interactions in this movie seem to be so forced, though, I must say, especially at the beginning, but near to the end, when he is in the Spider headquarters, and now that he is a true friendship, or whatever this is, I don't know what this friendship is, if it's friendship, or we know we like each other, but we're just not gonna say it. I honestly do not know what they are, but it did. The screen time did feel forced, especially in this scene, to be exact. It just didn't click, which is a lot of them should, but this one just did not do it for me. It was just really forced, as I say. Welcome to Mumbattan. The art of this place and how it was done was actually really cool. And by the way, for those who don't know, it's on Earth 50,101. I think the idea of combining the culture of the specific Spider-Man and then with a Spider-Man cliche, obviously Mumbattan is, I think it's Mumbai or something. I don't know what it's based off, and then Manhattan is obviously a Spider-Man cliche. But that shows how smart the writers are. The writers need a pay raise of this movie. I don't know how much they get, but they need a pay raise. This movie is peak. You don't think it is any different, but I like to think the color of this place is really cool compared to any other setting in the universe, in the Spider universe, obviously. Obviously, the Spider headquarters is literally just grey, but this one, the color scheme really clicked, especially with the specific type of Spider-Man as well. Excuse me. Introduction to Spider-Man India and Spider-Man Punk, or Spider-Punk even. Now for this movie, as I do with my other ones, I'm not doing favorites with these characters. I obviously did it with I didn't do it with the Flash because I just think I made it clear. I mean, Flash was my favorite, but that just really wasn't hard. Then obviously I had Mirage for Transformers, but I couldn't pick one for this one because it was really hard to choose between these two. Both of these characters were great. Spider-Punk was my favorite, and he is my hero. I also think we should have gotten more Spider-Man India, but it was funny throughout the movie, and the points he was there. If you're talking screen time, Spider-Punk was my favorite because he had little lines throughout the movie. But Spider-Man India was in there for a very little time, and obviously the color contrast, obviously seen in this little animation, was very good, and you could see why the art went so well into Spider-Punk. Yes, the interdimensional cameos. Now, this scene by itself could alter the Sony Spider-Verse, or in other words, save it. It's the DCEU all over again. Also, fun fact, the Lego animation was done by a 14-year-old boy. I mean, just wow, makes you think how well I'm doing. To have that put in a movie is mad. I also think this opens many doors for the future of the Spider-Man paradox, as it means that any universe can collide with each other, opening the gateway to heaven for the Venomverse. Just please save it for the Kraven the Hunter movie. That has so much potential. But and it says Venom Mint. No one noticed that. It's actually so cool. But like, it needs more, and hopefully maybe they do something with this. Obviously, because we had something in No Way Home with the symbiote and all that. Maybe we could have a Venom 3 update calling like a title Along Came the Spider, which is the most rumored one recently. But like, still, yeah. Damn. Yeah, Spot went Super Saiyan, or super interdimensional, whatever. The color of this is mad. I honestly thought this scene would take place at the end of the movie, but that is beside the point. I actually really enjoyed the scene because it shows how much Spot has suffered and how Miles is the true enemy, and like and it took me a while to realize that this actually links to the first movie. It is actually amazing, like the amount of links in this movie compared to the other ones. Oh, like the writers thought of everything. Like they were like, okay, let's see how this links with the second movie, and then how does the second movie link with the next, which has been postponed to 2026. No. Yeah, that was rough, very bad. But yeah, like honestly, I don't blame them. Like, this movie took 5 years. Yeah, then okay, 3 years, fine. But this movie, like the next one, better be like it will be like a home run for that. I use a sports analogy. Now, oh boy, that's a lot of spider people. There were some cool ones, especially the one at the front with like the buffed out suit, and the ones that were just incredibly weird, like Spider-Rex and Spider-Cat, for example, just to name a few. And it was also cool to see how Metro Boomin, because he did obviously a lot of work on the soundtrack of this movie. He got his own line with his own Spider-Man with the hooded one. I think he designed it as well because he wanted to, and I think that's really cool. And like, yeah, some of the spider people in this, like, there's a hockey player, there's one with like blue and purple, and then there's one with there's some weird ones, and it's hard to choose, but it also shows the infinite possibilities that this movie could lead into. So yeah, I want to know who's the first one to fight El Muerto. That would have been funny. Obviously, imagine it'll probably be a wrestler. All the spider cameos. I was not expecting this, but this will all make sense now. And to see a cameo from Donald Glover, the MCU Prowler, this is hinting that you're right in the this is hinting you right in the face that they're getting a Miles Morales solo movie in the MCU, because there's a scene with Miles Morales and all that in the end post-credit scene is No Way Home. So or he will be, and he there is also another chance he is the antagonist of the next Spider-Man movie. Also, the other cameos, like the PS4 Spider-Man, obviously I'm getting back into that game. I'm playing it today. And also, I hope you come back on Tuesday. There is a, what do you call it? I have a, what do you call it? It's in my head right now. I have a video coming out on Tuesday on Austin Plays. About Spider-Man 2, the game, and yeah. Now this scene is a good hype stunt that could lead into bigger things for any Marvel universe. Also, I'd love to see Fishbowl cartoon Mysterio. That was funny. Like they got a load of variants. We got a variant of literally Kraven as an animal. That was funny. And then we had a rhino who is literally a rhino. That was again funny. Miguel O'Hara's backstory. Okay, we just need to explain this right. This was a really sad backstory. This also shows how far he has come as a character. It shows real character development as well, which we didn't see much of any other character other than Gwen. Do you know what he did to feel you feel too emotional, sympathy and remorseless for this character, because he knew what he was doing and yet he still did it anyway. That's both messed up and understandable. From this, I do understand why he did it, but I don't think he was the right it was the right to take it out on Malice. Malice and Miles, jeez. But I don't think he should have taken it out on Miles. That it was incredibly unfair. But again, I do understand why he did it. So, yeah. What are canon events? To only add to the confusion, adding to the pile of incursions and fixed points, why not another timeline-altering title? Right, Miguel explains to Miles that canon events can only apply to the Spider-Verse, which is happy. Keeping it intact, an example of canon events is the death of Uncle Ben and being bitten by the radioactive spider. And obviously, as you can see here, Eddie Brock getting the Venom symbiote. And an example of... I also have a theory who created this to stabilize it. We obviously know that this character is getting her own movie soon, next year. In February. To summarize, Madam Worm is the reason for all of this. And I think that's why the Venomverse thing could be saved. Or the only reason it could be saved, well, who knows? The spider chase scene. No, honestly, that therapy scene was funny. I really enjoyed this scene, but it would have been better with the music that was actually shown in the trailer. And I say this because this it shows the tension throughout the movie with the it's reflected all in one scene, which I think was really impressive. This chase scene went on for 20 minutes straight, which is quite long in my opinion, but the meaning behind it obviously was actually really cool to think if you think about it. Also, this furthers my point for later in saying that he is the true great Spider-Man. Miles is the only good Spider-Man. Oh yeah, referring to my, there's weird spider people. There's, the donkey one. That's another one. Yeah, that's just to add to the pile than the one that's Western. Miles versus Spider-Man 2099. This scene was amazing and outstanding, shall I say. The music and action was actually really, I don't use this word a lot, but impeccable. To see Miles go up against 2099, who is actually really experienced in being Spider-Man. Think about it. Miles has only been Spider-Man for a year. Spider-Man 2099 has been forever. And considering also Spider-Man 2099 is a vampire beast who ultra power with a technical suit. It leads me to what I'm about to say next, as I've already mentioned in saying he is the true Spider-Man. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Miles is the one true Spider-Man. I don't care that that the spider was supposed to bite someone else. He is the better Spider-Man. He is independent, mature, and powerful. And if he can beat the president of the Spider Society, then it only furthers my point. He can beat Spider-Man 2099. He can beat them all. Also, I don't say this but I had a better character arc he had a better character arc than Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Obviously, Miles at top, Tom Holland's Spider-Man at the bottom. There's nothing that goes past that. But there's no doubt in my mind he is the one true Spider-Man, and I do think that's why these movies are necessary. This movie is a life lesson. Yes, it very much is. Now, I know this sounds weird, but it is also very true. This movie teaches everyone that your life shouldn't be defined just because someone says so. If I've heard things that could happen in my life, and if they will be, they will be. But I'd rather live my life at the end of the day, thinking those events happen on my own terms. And I'm aware that this is partially irrelevant, as again, this will be very minor. But it is, and it just isn't a good. It isn't just a good movie. It is a good life lesson, because no one should define you. Not a piece of paper that says you will be a doctor. Okay, if you are a doctor, fine, but do not let that letter define you. If you become, say, an accountant instead of a doctor, that is your choice. The letter was wrong. You were right. Don't let it define you. The words of wisdom, am I right? Oh yes, this scene was actually very nice. Gwen's acceptance. Now, as I said, it's nice. It's also very heartwarming for multiple reasons for that. Now, in the beginning, to see Captain Stacy actually nearly arrest her, I was not expecting that. She was just what was it? What did she say? like come with your hands up or something, like what will be said, and like that whole was, I was like, I'm saying, what? But then in the end, but this end brought it full circle and brought it back hard. To see how Captain Stacy quit in order to keep his daughter safe shows how he's grown in the last 2 hours, even though we haven't seen him for 2 hours. It's also really nice to see, and I hope we actually see him again in the next movie. Maybe his death, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I don't like what he did in the beginning. He deserves to die. But I do think maybe his death would also, again, add to the character development of Coins, because he's, I want to say Peter was his, Uncle Ben, but I still think she's an undefined character, if you ask me. Okay, yes, this is true. Ben Reilly is really underused in this movie. Now, his character reminded me of a Spider-Man version of Damian Wayne, a brooding character, but that looks and actions of the character could have been done a bit more. Like, he only actually does much in the end. He's so brooding in the movie, it's actually funny. But whilst I do understand this is not his movie, it's actually Miles Morales, but there were many other Spider-Man and woman who got more screen time than this guy. He's cooler than Spider-Woman. She got so many less lines, and she was just so pointless. It was just like, I'm here to mentor you, even though I'm really not nice, and as much as I seem nice, but I'm not nice. It was a good one, and I do hope we see more of him in the upcoming Beyond the Spider-Verse. I'm so hyped for that movie. I don't care if I'm 20, I don't care if I'm in, I think I'll be in sixth form by then, but I don't care. Earth 42. Now, this Earth alone was hinted at so many times in the movie. I mean, not that I actually batted an eye, but oh my god, it was well worth it, to see. And the plot twist was so needed, but the whole time, then when Miles was speaking to his mom, the whole time Miles was speaking to his mom, I knew something was a bit iffy. And the Earth's nightly colors were actually really cool, because if you can see in this scene, they're really, the background's green. And it shows red and blue, the colors of Spider-Man. But the colors that are seen in this, as I say with Ben Reilly, you can see there's a contrast between red and green, and that's the green that is used. So, as I say, this is actually really well done, and you knew there was something up. And also, clearly the number 42 had a bigger impact than people actually thought, including me. I did not think much of it at all. I'm also surprised that it took him that long to realize he was in the wrong universe. I mean, yeah, he was in the same room, but I kind of knew. Yes, this was very unexpected. And to say that things have gotten interesting is an understatement in this. I also saw people that they were angry that there was not a post-credit scene. After this, they didn't really need one. This scene also shows how the writers knew exactly what they're doing from day one. The color contrast of the suit and the green and the blue rain, now that is art. It refers to what I previously said. This character is menacing, even for his 30 seconds on the movie. It's really cool, and Prowler has a bigger impact on Miles than a lot of people think. Because obviously Prowler has been the key signifier of the whole, the whole universe and the whole thing with Miles. Obviously, even in the MCU, he related to Aaron Davis, and they've confirmed that he has a suit and all. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. Yes, this movie could improve, but there is no denying that this movie is a masterpiece. 9.6 all round. Or 9.5, or actually just, yeah. The art combined with the music, combined with the storyline, and the action shows that Sony knows how to make a good movie. The question is, will they ever make a good live action movie? That's the question. Obviously, Kraven the Hunter cannot be ruined. But let's see Sony try. I want to believe it's going to be good. I want to believe it's good. So, yeah, I do think this is well worth it. It's the fan theory. The fan theory, what the hell? Film rating, so, yeah. Here are the fan theories. Yep. Okay, Liv was a good character in the previous movie, and I think that she will become obsessed with Spider-Man to the point where she follows a comic accurate storyline with superiority Spider-Man. Ooh, I like this. Liv was a character who wished to run tests on different Spider-Man and who had the urge to probably lead her to go insane and become the superior Spider-Man. I like that theory. Didn't make sense, but I like that theory. In the movie, there was many compliments that we did not see enough of Ben Reilly. There was many complaints that we did not see enough Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider. Yep, I'll put my hand up for that. And I think there was a good reason for that. During his journey on the Earth, he will run into a future version of himself, the true Scarlet Spider, the red and black one. This may be far-fetched, but there is a chance that he becomes that version of Spider-Man. What? This whole universe is far-fetched. I don't know why you're saying about that, but yes, I agree. In the movie, it was hinted that we would get a Prowler, and in this movie, it was confirmed that he did exist at one point in time, and I think it would make sense to add it to the hype stuff. Spider-Man Homecoming hinted that Scorpion would make an appearance in the future, and I think that this would be perfect time to do that. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, very much so. Rankings. Okay, I'll put Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider at the bottom, and then Prowler, the Scorpion one, in number 2. The Liv one, I think, was really good, and I think it deserves merit, and I do think that one will go far. So, yeah, I'm just saying it now. Right, everyone, that'll be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, go and check this movie out. It is good. I don't think anyone can not like it. But if you don't like it, let me know. I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And, yeah. Everyone, we have a few more videos coming out this week. Just a couple more, and then I've got summer holidays. Obviously, I'm going away, and obviously, I'll be planning some videos when I come back from, because I don't know if I'll be able to record, but obviously, we can always try. Right, everyone, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!